Hey guys, Dr. Luster here today, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the differences between medication and supplements. Now, I have to start this video with this is not case specific. This is not specifically about you, and this is whoever you are. This is not me telling you to get off of medication, and this is not me telling you that supplements are the answer to all of your issues, okay? So with that said, these are my general stances on things and just where I come from with that, and just talking to you guys, as giving you some information on that. So as far as medication, I think that it is a definite balance. You should not be having doctors that tell you to get off of all of your medications immediately, which you find in a lot of the holistic world, because sometimes it's needed. And I'll explain my idea here in a minute, or my belief. And then you should also not be having doctors that are trying to just give you another medication. Like, it is ridiculous when you are on one medication that you absolutely need or whatever, and then you're on 3 more for the side effects for the medication that you need. Like, that's ridiculous. So there has to be this balance here. So when I come at this, I really try to have the perspective of course what is necessary, and then are there other better ways to go about this, but doing what you have to do. So I like to give the example of pain meds because it is not necessarily a mandatory one, so it's easier to have this conversation about one way or the other. So with pain meds, I think that people who will tell you to just get off all of them have not been in experience or do not have chronic pain or really intense pain, and that is a blessing for them. I am not that person. I have had 8 surgeries and 2 of them were spinal fusions, and so I have a lot of chronic pain. And so I am not the person that's going to slap your wrist for, taking pain meds. With that being said, they come at a cost, and all medication comes at a cost, and it is important to recognize the cost. Now, medications, we have to realize, like headaches, for example, are a great example. A headache is not an Advil deficiency, there are actual problems, and the Advil or the ibuprofen or whatever is covering it up, right? And that's okay, because sometimes we need that. Sometimes we just need to get through the moment, and it's enough. Like, the headache goes away, it resolves itself, perfect, that was all I needed, But the cause of the headache was not an Advil deficiency. We didn't actually fix anything because we didn't address the actual problem. We just covered it up and it happened to go away. So that's significant because as we go through some of these things, the question becomes, are you actually fixing a problem or are you just covering it up? And if the answer is just covering it up, my question to you would be, is it worth the consequences then? So that's, again, coming back to pain meds. So pain meds, most of us know that liver and kidney are super impacted by these things, and that they cannot function nearly as well, and we can go into liver kidney failure because of these. I also know that they can cause ulcers, and in one of my videos I talk a lot about the effects of neurological switching and loss of proprioception as a result of taking pain medication. Now, or really any medication, but we were specific for pain meds on that one. But there is this cost, but my argument is sometimes it is worse to be in this state of chronic stress, of chronic pain and anxiety and depression, all of that as a result of this chronic condition, this chronic pain. Being that in that position can be worse than the temporary stress or whatever additional stress it's going to add to your liver or kidneys. Sometimes it is worth the cost, because I think it is underrated how huge and widespread the ramifications of chronic pain are on your system, from everything from your mindset, your belief systems, your brain, your emotions, all of that, to how you actually experience pain. And a lot of that turns into things like fibromyalgia. So it is important for us to take that balance. If taking the pain meds is going to turn your system down just a little bit, enough so you don't tumble over into depression, I think that that's pretty significant. Let's do that. Because that depression is going to overall cause much longer term effects that are going to be much more damaging than the little bit that we did to your liver. You know what I mean? So that's my general stance on pain meds and stuff like that. I definitely think that there is a cost benefit analysis to be done there. And I'm not going to be one to poo-poo you on those things. So when we take that out to medication as a whole, that's kind of where I stand, is really some of them we need to do, because sometimes things are just not working, or they failed or whatever, and we need to find that balance. Now, can you come off of some of those things with the help of supplements? Absolutely. Supplements are interesting because just like a lot of medications, they're natural, or they start natural, or supplements are natural, but a lot of medications start natural and then are turned into something else. But your body understands some of those things, and so supplements can be a really, really great way of doing it if it's done balanced and all of these other things. So I think that if, like, let's say, for example, blood pressure meds, in some cases it can be very beneficial to just address some of the problems, like with nutrition and why, reducing your sugar intake, which is the true cause of blood pressure issues. Just saying. Anyways, the amount of blood sugar stuff you got going on, and then of course whether or not you're actually absorbing your fats. We address some of those things and then give you some supplements to help move that stuff along, then yeah, we could really potentially get you off of some of those things. We could reduce the amount that you need to take or get you completely off. And that should be the goal across the board for all doctors, should be to get you off as many medications as possible and get your system working the best way it can. Like I said, that it is, again, not specific to any case. It is just a general statement. So when we're talking about these things, yes, there is the potential for supplements to be a replacement or to be a temporary aid to get you off of medication in general. But it really just depends on the situation and the system, and it would have to be on a case-by-case basis. So I hope that clarifies a little bit. We should not be as reliant on medications as we are, because it's really unfortunate that we are in this situation, and I think that we wouldn't have these opioid addiction pandemics the way we do and whatnot if we treated this better. We wouldn't have some of these zombies basically walking around that can't feel, can't experience, are always in a drug-induced state, and that's just really not the best. We're really robbing ourselves of some life with that, with the caveat that sometimes we need to. Medication is, and the medical community at large is an impressive field, and we should use it, but it should always be as a last resort, because there's nothing else that worked to more naturally, more with our system. So I hope that clarifies some things. Again, this is a general statement. Please do not get off of your medications on your own without talking to a doctor about help with that. But also, you are your best doctor in terms of your body, and if that medication is making you feel like crap, or you're on a lot of medications, then I highly recommend that you go see a different doctor who might help you understand and get off of those things appropriately. I hope that answers some questions for you, and definitely reach out if you have any more, and I look forward to working with you guys. Thanks.